Welcome back to some professional Starcraft 2 from IEM Katowice 2020. Terran versus Terran, but this isn't Bronze League heroes. This is two of the very best Terran players in the entire world. From South Korea, but I repeat myself, we got Maru and Innovation. Both have looked essentially unbeatable at their primes. Both have had, been considered some of the best, for many years now. Innovation with a more rigid and mechanically intensive style. Maru with just a unprecedented ability to win a series. Whether that means 2-raxing every game, or the ultimate mind game meta of not 2-raxing every game, Maru is willing to try something new, and usually it works out for him. Whereas Innovation, on the other hand, is contrary to his name, much less so. He has his style, sometimes to his detriment, at least in the last couple years, but if he gets into, the zone, if he's allowed to not necessarily go unattacked early on, it's not like he's no rush player, but if he's able to defend and get up to that mid-game, he's one of the most Terranifying players in the world. Both sides have gone, I take it all back. I was about to talk about TVT, 2 gas. Most players will go 2 gas early, because if you don't go 2 gas, your opponent's going to have an advantage in tech, but no. Innovation, chillin', 1-rax expand. Can rely on a defensive posture. Whereas Maru is going for that gas heavy. He's pulled out of gas now. He's going to be going for the expansion. This is just to get your factory and maybe your starport up quicker, depending on where you want to go with that. For all of 2019, pretty much, getting a Raven was essentially... It was part of Terran religion. Oh, the SCV bully strats. Everybody, this is the Batman and Robin strat for both sides. First, you have the Batman Reaper, and then the Robin Innocent Bystander SCV to try to draw fire from the other Batman Reaper. The analogy kind of breaks down pretty quick. But Maru gets the better end of that. Both sides kill the SCVs. And down it goes. With that extra HP on the Reaper, Maru is able to delay the command center. If he kills another SCV, this is getting out of hand. There's only one Reaper. He can trade. Another Reaper's coming up. Will the command center be completed? That Reaper... Oh, God. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. Get me into the actions. Thank you. The command center and 3 SCVs. Maru lost 1, and remember, his expansion is still later, but killing that Reaper and those SCVs, as well as slowing the command center, part of the benefit of that second command center is having another orbital. Another orbital can drop more mules. More mules mine more money. And with more money, you got more problems. But as an experienced and top-tier StarCraft player, Innovation is more than ready to handle that. He's going to open up with a Raven. Cyclone. Oh. Maru cancels one of his Cyclones to build another Cyclone. I think that was a mistake, actually. Or maybe he reconsidered, but he already had a medevac on the way. He wasn't trying to get money for anything else, so... Now comes the follow-up attack. Maru he's going to have 2 Cyclones, 2 Reapers. The medevac can heal the Reapers and a handful of Marines. The Raven usage is going to be critical. Where does the auto turret go? Is it an important part of the defense, or is it a waste of money? Because this attack is very dangerous right now. It's just bio units and that Raven. Where does he slap down the auto turret? He uses it. Grenades from Maru. He's going to be backing off for now. A Cyclone comes out. A very important part of the defense. Where's that second Cyclone from Maru? Now, that... Oh, Hellion comes back. That delay on the second Cyclone may be what saves Innovation here. The lock-on. Of course, the medevac helps counter the lock-ons. some more. He's going to have to use the SCVs. The Cyclone beaten back. There's a mule in the mix there. No lock-ons from Maru onto Innovation Cyclone. That's all he really has left on this. Another Raven comes out, but SCVs are really starting to die. He jukes out, but the auto turrets, they're helping. He finally gets the starport, uses a scan. In Maru, it's real messy out here, but another auto turret is just enough to stop the bleeding, and Innovation is alive for now. That auto turret could not have come many seconds later without Innovation taking game-losing damage. He's already lost 10 SCVs. He's still struggling. Maru has a lot of energy on that Raven. He's not going to use it till he finds a much better opportunity, I think. Like when a tank comes down, he's targeting the Marines. I don't know if he's target firing. But that's... Oh my god, he's going to use the Raven! That tank, but the Cyclone... Oh, okay. Innovation just barely able to keep it alive. And Maru... Ooh. Innovation taking real hits here. Maru has a third command center on the way. He's up by 15 SCVs. He still has an aggressive posture. He blasts the smithereens. That doesn't even... Anyways, he just keeps going. There's going to be a tank on the high ground that might prevent... He's going to target the tank on the low ground. 2 auto turrets. Was he... Not quite enough. TPS, he goes for SCVs. Innovation is not particularly slowly being crushed. The command center is burning the orbital. But the question is, will it finally fall or be forced to be lifted? Which would be another huge blow to Innovation. He's down 27 supply, and this is TVT. They're both building the same unit. 27 supply is a major deficit. Maru just beats him down. My God. Maru just killed this man. He put his foot on the... He put his heel to his neck and kept grinding it in till Innovation couldn't breathe. It's just game 1, but that is a tough start. And thus, why many Terran players will go for that 2-gas play. Thusliest. Because if you don't have those tech units in a timely manner, you are simply at the whims of those who do. Especially if you don't build a bunker. Innovation, being the greedy devil he is, did not build a bunker. So, it started bad with the Reapers, and it didn't get any better. Game 2 is on Nightshade. Maru looking like the Maru we all know, and some of you love. Solid execution in every sense of the word. And it wasn't like it was all in by any means. He had a 3rd command center done by the time he killed him. He had plenty of SCVs. He had more barracks production on the way. We didn't even cut to that. He was perfect. Like, if Innovation happened to hold, if he got enough tanks to just hold, Maru would have still had a massive lead by the time he did. This time, Innovation's starting to accept the requirements of Terran versus Terran. It's almost a requirement. Not quite. I think you got 2 options. Either you go for the 2-gas early on, and have you open up that tech path quicker with a quicker factory and all that. Or you build a bunker to make sure Reapers don't delay your command center, they don't do real damage. None of that early harass. If you cut both corners, eventually you're not going to have much of an edge. Factories for both sides. It's a mirror matchup now. 2 and 1 in gas, and 2 and 1 in gas. So this is actually a mirror build. The only difference is Maru is SCV scouting. Not a huge deal either way, just seeing there's no... He saw the factory, saw there's no command center on the low ground, which means instead of being so aggressive, you're on even footing. You don't have to do damage to your opponent. You're not obligated when they don't have that command center. You just go about whatever build you were planning on. He's going to leave his Reaper at home, even. Command center marginally quicker for innovation. Hellion and Reaper. I think the first split will be on whether they get 2 Hellions or go immediately for a Cyclone. Ooh, pretty quick reactor here out of Maru. It looks like 2 Hellions and 3 Reapers will be the choice for innovation, whereas Maru's going to go for the reactor and get a tech lab for more than likely a Cyclone. Innovation saving that gas to go Starport earlier. So that means innovation will have a short timing where he has more units, but then for a while past that, Maru will have the stronger units and slightly more production. That changes once that Starport finishes up and starts adding units in. Cyclone halfway done, and innovation maintaining that high ground. Maru's Starport is finishing up. Definitely, like, we squared up in game 1. Maru started throwing punches. Round 2, he's playing it safe. Letting innovation potentially make a mistake. Honestly, TVT is much like chess boxing. A gentleman's sport. Where sometimes you play chess, and sometimes you beat each other in the face. Sometimes simultaneously. Zerg versus Zerg is more like a knife fight in a phone booth. And Protoss versus Protoss is more like a drunken lightsaber fight on a tightrope over a volcano. So pretty much Star Wars Episode 3, but with more plot development. But TVT is a gentleman's game. Banshee with Cloak on the way. So Banshees are an uncommon choice because almost everyone, including Innovation here, gets a Raven early. It's one of those, like, because this is such a not good choice, does it become a good choice again? Yeah. Like, if Innovation sends his Raven out to harass/scout, then it becomes okay. But if the Raven's just there, the Banshee could just die. Yeah, the Raven's just chilling. One in the main. He's making a second Raven. Or is that a third? He's going 3 Ravens. So he's really relying on this. He sees a Banshee pop out. Innovation has a 3rd command center nearly done. He's played a much more defensive game. So Maru, upon having his Banshee scouted, is just holding in the corner of the map. He's going to wait for quite a while for his opportunity to come in. Because he knows Banshees early on are just not going to do the damage. He's got his corner Banshees. I don't know. Maybe they're for scout. But there's a Banshee in both corners. Which is kind of weird. Some scouting units sent out being murdered by larger groups of scouting units. Innovation. Now we'll have to look at the engineering bay timings. Innovation does have that quicker 3rd CC. Maru doesn't really have any particular advantage. Any sort of economic advantage is balanced out by the fact he went Banshees, so that slows down everything else. It's kind of just how it works. A scan spots. Oh wait, is this mech? It's mech. Is it? Innovation is meching it happen. Maru spots it though. Double armory on the way. Keep an eye on those Banshees in the corner. So now we're gonna have a split. The thing is, Innovation got a quicker 3rd CC, and Maru doesn't really have any opportunity to be aggressive. He's not gonna have a huge upgrade advantage, though his engineering bays are marginally quicker. There are 2 options, really, two paths you can take to deal with mech. The first is just really relying on the fact that you can build more barracks than they can build factories. You can have an overwhelming production and map control, at least for a time. And it's harder for a mech army to move out, so you just try to outmaneuver them. The second is you use that for a short time, and then you go for air control. Because if you get air control, mech doesn't have the built-in anti-air that, well, Marines are. Maru is going for air control. He's been holding on. He actually has more Vikings. The Banshees show up to the party. And if there's no anti-air, say Cyclones, then the Banshees can kill tanks. Maru's going to try to be aggressive here. Both sides have 1-1 on the way. That's still 3 Ravens, though. An anti-armor missile could definitely turn the tides. And Cyclones as well. He's going to pre-scan. Innovation. Sees. I just don't see this working. Those 3 Ravens are too much to deal with. Will Maru even make medevacs? He knows how important it is to have air control against this. He's not even going for like the heavy bio play. He's just leaning on the air control immediately, which means his bio units, every time they stim, that's permanent damage, both mentally and physically. It's a tough life to be a Marine. Armory is on the way. For Maru, of course, Armory's already done for innovation as a mech player. The best defense is a good offense. Oh, he tries to drag the Cyclones in. Almost gets a Banshee here. Oh, the fleet's on both sides. Every second he can keep innovation at home gives him more time to respond to to his unit composition. Honestly, if innovation isn't pressured, it becomes very easy for him to build that death ball of siege tanks and Vikings like it's 2011 and eventually waltz across the map. And the simple thing is, Marines and Marauders with even upgrades are not better than siege tanks with air superiority. Siege tanks are designed to kill large groups of units. He just needs to know where they are and where to siege up before they can close the distance. And Maru, both players, in fact, Innovation is the first person to build medevacs. Innovation in Heart of the Swarm, using Hellbat drops on top of bio and other unit compositions, including Zerg unit compositions. Starports are scouted, but Innovation was one of the first people to use that. It's actually kind of crazy that against Maru, who's playing quote-unquote bio, he builds the medevacs first. He's going to go for the Hellbat drops on the other side, whereas Maru he's going for air control, but Innovation scouted it. He can build Thors. He already has some Cyclones. And if he keeps up on the Viking production, it's 10 to 10 Vikings, but the 3 Ravens are a lot to consider here. A Banshee comes in. For the very first time, a Banshee will find damage. Maru's microing it. Innovation is down a handful of workers, but Blue Flame Hellbats, look at the upgrades. Innovation just marching to 2-2. Maru is struggling to find the money here. Innovation just takes his fourth. He understands his position. Remember, if he gets into the mid-game how he wants, and this seems like a pretty safe mid-game, he's hard to beat. And right now, Maru is scrambling. He's tried several options. He tried being aggressive. Didn't work. He's now trying to go for air control, which is TBD, but not looking great. Innovation is out-expanding and out-upgrading him, and doing more damage. Oh my god, those Blue Flame Hellbats slaughtering SCVs. One Viking hits the deck. It's not actually enough. Oh, but this is quite a battle. Doing some push-ups there, but 19 SCVs go down. And Innovation is at 69 to 60, which is a nice lead to have as a mech player. What is the Viking count? 18 for Maru, 15 for Inno, but there's going to be +2 mech armor, not ship weapons, but mech armor also applies to the Vikings. And any amount of Thors plus Ravens, there's nothing to worry about. And it's not like, even if he did get air control, there's not Liberators or enough tanks to really take advantage of it. Tanks aren't going to be able to close the distance easily because scan, well, like if Innovation doesn't have air control in a location, he'll be scanning to make sure the tanks are always within range. Really, Liberators are the only way, and obviously Maru agrees. I keep talking like Maru's way behind, and despite being at 200 supply, he is. Because Innovation is running him around the map, Maru is scrambling to find an actual unit composition that will deal with Innovation. And now that this harassment is done, he's killed 60 more SCVs. There's no reason Innovation can't move out on the map. He's got 3-3 on the way. He's building 3 more factories. He's barely been touched throughout this game. He's got, how many Vikings is that? 20 to 18 Vikings. This is a Scandinavian civil war of Vikings here. And 2-2 is... bio upgrades are almost irrelevant. You really don't want to be in a position. It's not so much about that they're maxed out. How do you beat Innovation's army? How do you do it? He's got 8 siege tanks. He's got 6 Thors. He's got about an equal number of Vikings. He's going to have better upgrades. The answer for Maru seems to be getting air control and using Liberators, which are okay against Thors, but scans on both sides, kind of sizing each other up here. But those Ravens, he disables a few tanks, pushing forward. Dorito dusts all the Vikings! Anti-armor missile, Innovation, crushing through. The Thors are blasting it apart. Interference Matrix scrambling the tanks out of the fight, and just like that, Maru's down 50 supply. Innovation, he's lost a few incidental Hellions came in from the back on obviously the wrong hotkey, but Innovation steps forward and slaps Maru off the map. And that was with even upgrades, give or take. I think 2-2 was done for Maru. I'm not 100%. The Liberators didn't have a chance. But here comes the bio, a decent concave. 1 tank still involved. Vikings on the deck. Innovation not dropping his. It doesn't matter. Maru looked like he might even kind of win that fight. He knows how the war is going to end. Innovation, when he wins so profound. But Maru was grasping for several minutes, like for most of the game, about, he was grasping for most of the game to try to figure out, like, air control, bio, and Innovation just built up too quick, too fast, too strong, too handsome. He made Maru look like he had no idea what to do. And, well, classic Innovation. Maru thrives on his aggression and his micro. Speaking of aggression, whereas Innovation is a mechanical, more macro-oriented player. His micro is perfectly competent, but it's not what he's leaning on. So, Maru, remember, who thrives on his aggression, has decided that building barracks in his base is not in his best interest. And can you blame him after that display? There are 2 barracks. About as close as they can be without being on the low ground. Oh, Innovation. Oh, Innovation. He knows. He's actually going to send a second. He's going to try to kill the SCVs. Which, well, I mean, he can repair an SCV with the other SCV. But this is scaling up. Before, we had maxed out mech and bio armies. Now, the war has taken to the streets. The SCV is brawling it out. Maru desperately tried to finish the barracks, but 2 red SCVs murder him. And he doesn't want to lose them to maybe a Marine first, so 1 SCV goes down, the barracks is delayed. And with that, well, that doesn't mean this will do nothing. There's still every opportunity for Maru to get damage done. Like, not if he loses the first Reaper, though. Innovation not going to take the risk That is a very thin ledge there that the Reapers can use to jump. But there will be a point where it's 3 or maybe 5 Reapers, and there's not any factory units yet. Okay. He's almost body blocked. Oh, he loses a Reaper. But Maru, good so far. There's going to be a Hellion coming. Oh, what a shot! Oh, he's looking for the kill. The boys come out. Here comes another Reaper. He's going to try to micro it. Maru turns. He doesn't hit the shot. There's going to be a Hellion. So far, Innovation has defended strongly. The Hellion makes things even more difficult. The boys gave their lives so that Reaper could live. He killed a few SCVs, so it's not defended perfectly. And there are other angles for the Reapers to jump in, but Maru is one bad fight away from losing this series. Whoa. The fadeaway nades here, but the high ground. When will the Reaper? He has a third Reaper. Hellion shot on one. Innovation going for Cloak Banshee, about the most directive counters. That's actually a little on the riskier side, I think. Like, he just wants to kill him. Here comes the flying barracks. Did you know that barracks fly faster than overlords without speed? Isn't Terran fair? Oh, and he carves out a spot. That's 4 Reapers against a weird amount of units. So is that enough? 5 Reapers. Oh, 5 Reapers is dangerous. The Cyclone is about to pop out, though. He will fight, but the Cyclone, if he locks on, he will kill a Reaper. So Maru gets a good scout. He's going to go for Magfield Accelerator. And now begun. The Clone Wars have. As both sides build clones, that is to help deal with other clones. And of course, well, actually it doesn't do more damage to Banshees. The Magfield Accelerator upgrade doubles the lock-on damage against armored units. But Banshees are light units, unlike your mother. Down goes the barracks. Raining down fire and brimstone, but no damage below it, unfortunately. How many Cyclones? 2 to 2. But if that Magfield Accelerator is done, then Maru's Cyclones are going to be much more deadly. A Raven is now on the way for Innovation. A third command center built on the low ground before Innovation even expands to his natural. He's that confident in his map control. And he should be. Maru's going to build a Raven. Was there a Banshee built? There are 2 Banshees. And this time, Innovation has a much... Like, his Banshees are much more effective than Maru's last game. Maru's last game were a gamble. This was a known quantity. Oh, this is going to be tough. The Banshees start locking on. The Raven's only halfway done. He scans. Oh my god, that scan from Maru is so late. He double locks onto a clone. He locks onto one of the Banshees. The Reapers have to buy some space. Another lock on. The scans are kind of confusing. He locks onto a Banshee, but is that going to say... The Reapers are doing a pretty good job here. There's no anti-air left. The Reapers kill the clones. 11 SCVs. But the Raven shows up. And who are those survivors? Well, Innovation dealt a lot of damage. He didn't kill Maru, but almost a reverse of the first match. This time, Innovation steps across the map. Well, Maru kind of provoked him, let's be honest. Steps across the map and deals a lot of damage, but that means there's no units at home to defend. The Reapers are done. We're back, boys. And he's gonna... The proxy... he blocked an auto turret. Innovation didn't drop it in a timely manner. He's gonna kill a lot more SCVs than he really deserves to. He killed 7, which is still not enough, but it's more than he could have hoped for. Innovation just gonna go take his third. The greedy devil. The lock on there, that's gonna do a lot of damage to the orbital. Like, look at that damage. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Oh, auto turrets. But you can just kind of run away from that. Oh, the auto turrets in the main! Maru! He has limited tools, but he's making great use of them. Target fire on SCVs, and suddenly Maru's starting to rack up the damage. You can tell. In these micro scenarios, it's almost like a micro tournament right now. There's barely any units. You've only got so much energy. But Maru using every single tool so well, where innovation, they're both going to go mech. They're both building cyclones. What year is it? 2018? When everybody went to cyclones with the attack speed of like I don't know, like a marine that was allowed to stim 7 times over. The clones continue to rack up in numbers. 4 clones. Oh, but interference matrix will be outlasted by the auto turrets of innovation, but... Wait, will he use another one? He uses another one, the double scramble! A clone comes out! He locks onto one of the tanks, and another one of the cyclones! They do so much damage! A tank gets 1 shot, every shot counts. Every shot is huge. Oh, but the auto turrets! It's even on supply! What's happening on the other side? Hellions are getting through! Somehow Maru is in Innovation's base doing damage! The hubris of Innovation! To try to take a third and attack and barely build anything to defend. Maru is punishing him, but at the same time, Innovation distracted Maru for at least a split second. Magfield Accelerator is not done, but it doesn't matter at this stage. 4-0. He's able to kill a couple of the Cyclones. We're going the Cyclones on both sides. 6 Cyclones lost for Maru, and 4 for Innovation, but of course Maru's been making them with the... Okay. It's just Cyclones and Hellions now. With the Hell Clone strats. It's not TVZ, though. Magfield Accelerator is done for Innovation. If he gets a lock, that's all that's gonna matter. Whoever locks on first just obliterates the other Cyclones so goddamn quickly. Everybody calm down. Everybody chill out. Boring game. A scan. Yep, Maru knows what's up. 5 factories. 3 Cyclones and 3 Hellions in production, but that high ground, well, the vision over the blocker, the supply is nearly even. Maru with a few more SCVs, but this Viking looking to change that. The unit count, 7 to 7 clones, but there's 3 Ravens for Maru and a bunch of Hellions to buffer for Innovation. This Cyclone doing some damage. The SCVs are pulled to deal with it. They eventually will, but wait! He can fly! What an advantage! The boys are pulled! Massacre on both sides! The boys are eating some of the lock-ons, though. Maru's losing SCVs. Oh, Liberator, where did he come from? Oh, the Cyclone will lock on, but just barely dodges. There's a lot of the boys once again being slaughtered. The worker count, but guess who's back? A Viking coming to pillage the mineral line. The boys are pulled again. Will Innovation micro away? No, I think he tried to jump at the last second. 62 to 65 workers. Maru says, can we calm down and get some upgrades? Innovation, inspired by the Liberator of his opponent, will build his own. 1 Cyclone in position will be able to take it out. Oh, the battles continue. Blue flame for both sides. Maru has been more adamant about his SCV production. He's also killed a handful more SCVs. He has a slight lead on that. Innovation does not look like he's interested in these silly upgrades, and the Cyclone lock-on ignores upgrades, as does Blue Flame. Well, Blue Flame not so much, but still. Oh, is there anything at the third? No, the SCVs are on the run. Oh, did you do 2 Hellions counter 3 Hellions? I don't know, but this is what really matters. The auto turrets. 1 tank goes down. The auto turrets will ward things off for now, but that's a lot of energy. Apparently 2 Hellions do counter 3 Hellions. Today I learned. The unit count 12 Cyclones to 8, but Maru has some tanks to add that splash damage. He starts 1-1. The factory count, actually, Maru's going up to 8 factories now. I thought he was behind on factories. No, oh my god, that's a lot of Cyclones. But that's also a lot of... He doesn't care! Here comes the Liberator as well! It's... He locked on to one of the tanks. There's still one in the mineral line. The Liberator, looking for an opportunity to do anything. Infernal Pre-Igniter. I'm pretty sure Innovation already has it done. Yes, now they both have Blue Flame, which means Hellions are very dangerous to other Hellions and also SCVs. +1/+1, but Maru's a little bit ahead by almost every metric except Cyclone count. The Clone Wars are nearly over, but after that, the stronger mech units will be rolling in. That depot sounds the alarm. Running up a ramp with Cyclones is never a great proposition, but the things escalate as both sides lock on. In the Venn diascan, both players trying to maintain those locks as long as possible. Maru's now making 5 Cyclones at a time. A renewed vigor. Oh, more locks! It is... I can't tell who's winning these fights until they're over. It looks like Maru's ready to chase. A lot of tanks dying here. 1-1's about to finish. This fight happening before it for Maru. He's gonna try to press forward. Things escalating quickly, but the tanks return fire, and Innovation won't be going down yet. Beautiful scans. The interference matrices ran out. Oh, he doesn't quite get the lock-ons there. Maru really knocking on the door now. He has more clones, and the tanks are getting into a good position. That +1 attack is a huge advantage for tanks as well. The orbital! The orbital! The orbital! Meanwhile, this base, this command center, this orbital, will and burn! It's got... Innovation loses 2 bases in barely more than that in seconds. Suddenly, Maru just swept the leg. He's up 30 supply. He has not 4, but going on 5 command centers. A lock-on. Innovation with a desperate play. The Cyclone's demolished. Not really killing any SCVs. What is the advantage? What does Innovation... He has a few more tanks. Maru's 15 clones. Innovation's got to do a leapfrog across the map. Good luck. I mean, the Cyclones can't really fight that. But they can go around. Wait, Innovation has lifted his main. The defensive depot. But there are no tanks. And without tanks, there are no hope. Tanks on the high ground already. SCVs slaughtered. Maru has found the position to kill Innovation. Off the 2 racks. It's come to this. Innovation a little too greedy. Some good counter damage, but is it good enough? Wait, is it good enough? Wait, whoa. There's a lot of damage, but the Cyclones lock onto the command. Oh, no, Maru, whoa. Oh, God. Oh, he moved commanded the wrong way. Wait, whoa. Okay. Maru is getting 2-2. He still has more workers, like a lot more workers. Innovation killed 30 SCVs, which is not enough. Maru's killed 61. Maru still has 5 command centers. It got real, like, Innovation will not go down easy. But the tank count is not going to save him. Half the tanks, well, more than, the tanks are at half HP for the most part. That Raven is trying to do anything. The exchanges there. Maru... Every second that passes, his economy kicking in more and more. And the counter-attack. There's just not much left for Innovation. There's no right answer. And now there's no command center. Innovation has to go. Because even if he goes, it's going to be trouble. But if he just sits at home and stays... It'll be double. 4 tanks against the world. Maru's wondering where those tanks went. That's all innovation potentially has. The Cyclone, like... Oh, they just kind of siege up. What? He just goes for it. He's bringing everything back. Oh god, the tanks hit really hard, but not hard enough. The SCVs as well. Maru takes it in 3. One of the messy... I haven't seen that many Cyclones for years. Especially in TVT. They just... And Maru went back to them as well. It almost felt like innovation was building up the army. He was going more for the tanks. But Maru, more adaptive, thrives in those crazy scenarios, which he usually starts them, all right? He provokes his opponent. He antagonizes them. He cheeses them. I was hoping to have something past that, but whatever. Moving on. An incredibly exciting series. Things escalating. And we see why Maru is so good. I hope you enjoyed this match from IEM Katowice. If you did, like and subscribe and ring all the bells and complain about how TVT is the only matchup anyone plays anymore because Terran is just too strong, and that's definitely a fact. And all of those things. Thank you for watching. Good luck and have fun.